The scent of lavender hits me first, artificial, too sweet, almost mocking. Like everything else about this gift from my family, it feels calculated rather than comforting. I'm Wren, and I should have known better than to accept a spa weekend from the same people who watch my marriage implode with barely concealed satisfaction. The resort is beautiful, I'll give them that. All sleek stone and gleaming wood, with floor to ceiling windows overlooking misty mountains. But something feels off. The lobby is deserted except for a single attendant who barely meets my eyes as he hands over my room key. No other guests in sight, no ambient music, just silence and that cloying lavender. Room 317, he mumbles. Someone's waiting for you. I freeze. Waiting, I thought. Your sister arranged it. He turns away before I can ask more questions. The elevator ride gives me time to scroll through Victoria's texts from yesterday. You need this, sis. Time to heal. And my mother, don't be difficult, Wren. We're trying to help. Help. Right. Like they helped when Edward left, taking half my clients and my reputation with him. The hallway to 317 stretches forever. My heels click against marble, each step echoing. When I reach the door, my key card trembles slightly in my hand. I blame it on the 3 espressos I downed during the drive up. The room is dim, lit only by scattered tea lights. And there, perched on a velvet armchair like she owns it, sits Lucille, my former best friend, the woman who helped destroy my marriage. Hello, Wren. Her smile is razor sharp. We need to talk. My throat closes up. What are you doing here? Staging an intervention. She holds up a manila envelope. Or maybe a confession. Depends on how honest you're feeling today. I back toward the door, but she clicks her tongue. Your family's watching, darling. Victoria, Edward, your parents. They're all very concerned about your version of events. That's when I notice them, tiny red lights blinking in the corners, hidden cameras. My stomach drops as Lucille taps her phone, and suddenly one wall lights up with a video feed. There's my sister looking worried but determined, my parents' grim face, Edward wearing that same sympathetic expression he used when telling me he wanted a divorce. What is this? My voice sounds distant, even to me. This is your chance to come clean. Lucille stands, smoothing her designer dress, about the lies, the manipulation, how you tried to ruin Edward's life when he finally escaped you. I laugh. I can't help it. Is that what you told them? I told them the truth. Now millions of others can hear it too. She turns her phone screen towards me. A live stream is running, viewer count climbing past 50,000. The title reads, Confronting My Toxic Best Friend. The Truth Comes Out. My mind races. 7 years of marketing strategy experience kicks in, analyzing angles, spotting weaknesses. They think they've trapped me, but they've forgotten something crucial. I wrote the playbook on viral moments. Millions, huh? I keep my voice steady as I set down my bag. That's ambitious. People love watching karma unfold. Lucille gestures to a second armchair. Shall we begin? I sit, crossing my legs carefully. My phone buzzes in my pocket. Probably Kennedy, my former co-worker, wondering why I'm trending. She'll figure it out soon enough. She always does. Actually, I smile, channeling every client meeting where I had to play nice while planning total market domination. Let's begin with how long you've been sleeping with my husband. Lucille's smirk falters for just a second. On the video feed, Victoria shifts uncomfortably. They thought I'd walk in here defensive, scrambling to explain myself. Instead, I'm about to give them a master class in how reputations are really destroyed. The lavender suddenly smells less sickening. It smells like opportunity. Lucille recovers quickly, her practiced smile snapping back into place. Always deflecting, aren't you, Wren? Let's start with these. She pulls out printed screenshots of text messages, my text messages. I'll destroy him if he leaves, she reads aloud, voice dripping with fake concern. You sent that to Victoria 3 days before Edward moved out? I lean back, relaxed. Interesting. Show the whole thread. The context doesn't matter. It always matters. I glance at the video feed where my sister squirms. Victoria, remember what I was responding to when you told me Edward was emptying our joint accounts? The live stream chat explodes. Victoria's face goes pale. Moving on, Lucille shuffles her papers quickly. Let's talk about your emotional manipulation. My phone buzzes again. I check it casually, making sure the cameras catch my lack of anxiety. It's Kennedy. In her cloud. Holy shit, Wren. Recording everything. You know what I find fascinating? I interrupt Lucille's rehearsed speech. How you changed your hair exactly 2 months before my marriage fell apart. Same color Edward's ex had. Same style, too. The chat feed scrolls faster. Lucille's hand twitches toward her perfectly styled blonde waves. That's ridiculous, she snaps. You're trying to distract from... And those therapy sessions you suggested, I continue, the ones where you convinced me I was paranoid for questioning why my husband kept having late meetings at your PR firm? Edward's face appears in a separate window on the wall. Wren, stop trying to spin this. We're here to help you accept responsibility. Oh, look who's joined us. I wave at his image. How's the new beach house, Edward? The one you bought with my client's retainers? His smile cracks. Victoria jumps in. Wren, please. We're worried about you. This behavior, save it, Vic. I pull out my own phone. Remember last Christmas when Lucille wore that red dress to our family dinner? The one you helped her pick out? Silence. The chat goes wild with theories. You knew, I say softly for the camera's benefit. You knew she was sleeping with my husband because you helped orchestrate it. Was it revenge for me getting the promotion you wanted at Marshall's? That's not, I never... Victoria stutters. Check your phones, I suggest to the live stream audience. Victoria Johnston, Marketing VP. Edward Bryant, Financial Advisor. Lucille Douglas, PR Executive. I'm sure their social media is fascinating right now. Lucille stands abruptly. This isn't about them. We have proof of your instability. My phone chimes, right on schedule. Speaking of proof, I scroll through my messages. Kennedy says hi. She's wondering why there are recordings of you coaching Edward on what to say to the divorce lawyers, dated 3 months before he left me. The color drains from Lucille's face. You're bluffing. Am I? Should we play them? I look directly into the nearest hidden camera. Or should we discuss the offshore account you helped him set up? The one with my marketing firm's missing funds? Edward's video feed cuts out suddenly. Victoria's follows. You think you're so clever, Lucille hisses, dropping her practiced poise, but you have no idea what's coming next. Actually, I stand up straightening my blazer. I do, because I wrote it. Check your live stream settings, by the way. Seems you're locked out of your own channel. Her phone pings. She looks down and freezes. Impossible, she whispers. Fun fact about cloud storage, I smile. It's only as secure as the people you trust. Now, should we show everyone what's in the folder marked Revenge Plan? Or would you like to try telling the truth for once? The viewer count hits 1 million. Lucille's carefully constructed trap is becoming her cage, and she knows it. Sometimes the best revenge isn't fighting back. It's letting your enemies destroy themselves while everyone watches. Your move, I say, sitting back down. But remember, unlike you, I don't need to lie to win. The lavender scent seems fainter now, replaced by something else, the sweet smell of karma. The door bursts open and Victoria storms in, her designer heels stabbing the carpet. Stop this right now, Wren. You're making everything worse. Worse than secretly funding Lucille's plastic surgery? I ask innocently. That must have cost what, 40, 50,000? Victoria freezes mid-stride. Lucille's hand flies to her nose reflexively. I don't know what you're talking about, Victoria says, but her voice wavers. The transfers from your Cayman account were sloppy, sis. Next time you want to hide money, don't use Mom's birthday as your password. The live stream chat explodes with screenshots of before-after photos of Lucille. Someone's already created a side-by-side comparison. You know what hurts the most, I continue, watching Victoria's perfect composure crack. Not the betrayal, not even the money. It's that my own sister hated me enough to literally remake my best friend into my replacement. That's not, I didn't. Victoria looks desperately at Lucille. Show them, I say quietly. Show them the group chat where you planned it all. Lucille's typing frantically on her phone. It's locked. Everything's locked. Kennedy says hi again, by the way. She's an amazing hacker when she's motivated, and finding out her former boss was framed? Very motivating. The wall screen flickers and a new window appears. Messages start scrolling. Victoria. She doesn't deserve any of it. The promotion, the perfect marriage, the social media following. Lucille. Give me 6 months. I'll take it all. Edward. Just make it look like she's unstable. Nobody questions the crazy ex-wife story. The chat goes silent for a moment, then erupts. Revenge retreat starts trending.
You were my sister, I say, letting my voice break just enough for the cameras. I changed your diapers. I covered for you when you crashed Dad's car. I recommended you for your first job. Victoria's mascara starts to run. You always had everything so easy. Easy? I stand up. I worked 60-hour weeks while raising Kyson alone because Edward was networking with Lucille.
I built my client list from nothing while you got handed accounts because of our father's connections. Lucille tries to interject, but I hold up my hand. And you, my supposed best friend, want to tell everyone about the night you called me crying about being lonely while you were literally in bed with my husband? The live stream numbers hit 2 million. Wren receipts trends alongside toxic sister goals. We can still contain this, Lucille says desperately. Delete the stream. Blame it on a hack. Like you contained the truth about Edward's gambling or the real reason Victoria's fiancé left her last year. I pull out my phone. Speaking of receipts, Victoria lunges for my phone, but I step back. Careful, sis. 2 million people are watching you assault me in a locked room. Not great for the family image. What do you want? Lucille demands. Want? I wanted a sister who loved me, a best friend I could trust. A husband who wasn't a fraud. I look directly into the main camera, but since I can't have those things, I'll settle for the truth. My phone buzzes with a text from Kennedy. Plan B activated, Reddit thread going nuclear. Check your mentions, I tell them. Looks like someone leaked the full story of how you orchestrated my downfall. The plastic surgery, the coached conversations, the faked evidence of my instability. Victoria grabs her phone, scrolls, and sinks into a chair. Lucille stands frozen, watching her carefully constructed narrative crumble in real time. You know what the worst part is? I say, gathering my bag. I would have forgiven you, all of you, if you'd just been honest. I head for the door, then turn back. Oh, and Lucille, those divorce papers you brought? Edward might want to check the fine print. Turns out confessing to financial fraud on a live stream invalidates our settlement agreement. His lawyer should be calling any minute. The door clicks shut behind me, but not before I hear Victoria start to sob. In the hallway, my phone lights up with messages from Kennedy. You're trending in 12 countries. Your podcast offers are blowing up. Ready for phase 2? I smile, thinking of the evidence still to come. Sometimes karma needs a little help, and I've got 6 more chapters of receipts to share. The spa's private dining room feels like a stage, all spotlights and shadows. Edward, Lucille, and Victoria sit across from me, their faces illuminated by candlelight and the glow of phones they can't stop checking. Their social media is imploding in real time. Dinner is served, announces Deacon, the quiet spa attendant, placing plates before us. His eyes meet mine briefly, a subtle nod. Let's be civilized, I say, unfolding my napkin, while we still can. Edward clears his throat. Wren, we can make a deal? Like the deal you made with my clients? I cut a piece of salmon. Interesting timing, by the way. Their accounts emptied right after you convinced me to combine our client portfolios. The live stream chat floods with financial industry professionals connecting dots. That's a serious accusation, Edward warns, but his hand shakes as he reaches for his water. Not an accusation, fact. I pull out my phone, set it on the table. The SEC is very interested in those offshore transfers, especially the ones labeled as consulting fees to Lucille's firm. Lucille drops her fork. You wouldn't dare. Oh, but I would. In fact, I check my watch. Your firm's board should be receiving those documents right about now. Victoria jumps in. This is exactly why we had to intervene. You're destroying people's lives. Says the sister who helped gaslight me into thinking I was paranoid. I turn to the nearest camera. Fun fact for the viewers. Victoria here suggested I see a therapist when I suspected my husband was cheating. The same therapist who later diagnosed me as unstable after receiving a generous donation from my sister's foundation. The chat explodes again. Someone's already found the foundation's public records. You're making a mistake, Edward says quietly. Think about Kyson. Don't you dare say my son's name. My voice could freeze hell. Not after you tried to use him as leverage in the custody battle. How's that going, by the way, since the judge got those recordings of you planning to hide assets? A spa employee appears with Edward's phone. Sir, your lawyer's on line 1. He says it's urgent. Edward practically runs from the room. Victoria starts to follow, but I clear my throat. Leaving so soon? Before we discuss the real reason behind your sudden interest in Lucille's makeover? Victoria sinks back into her chair. Lucille goes pale. Tell them, I gesture to the cameras, tell them how you wanted Lucille to look more like me. How you thought if Edward had a better version of his wife, he'd help fund your startup. That's not, I never, Victoria stutters. The surgeons kept excellent records, I continue, taking another bite of salmon, very detailed about the references photos, all from my social media. Deacon appears at my elbow with a tablet. Ma'am, you might want to see this. The screen shows a Reddit thread exploding with side-by-side photos. Lucille's transformation documented month by month, each procedure matching a feature of mine. The hashtag shot single white female starts trending. You're sick, Lucille spits. All this because you couldn't keep your husband? No, I say calmly. All this because you couldn't stand seeing someone else succeed. both of you. It was never about Edward, was it?" Victoria bursts into tears. Lucille's carefully constructed mask finally cracks. "You had everything," she screams. "The career, the family, the influence. You didn't deserve any of it. And now?" I stand slowly. Now I have receipts, proof of every lie, every manipulation, every crime. Would you like to see what's in the folder marked Phase 2? Deacon discreetly slides a key card across the table. On it is written, "Tech Room, 10 minutes." "I'll give you both a choice," I say, gathering my things. "Confess everything, the fraud, the conspiracy, the gaslighting, or I release the rest of the files. You have 1 hour." "You wouldn't," Victoria whispers. I pause at the door. "Remember when you told me I was too weak to survive without you all? Watch me." The dining room door closes behind me as my phone lights up with a message from Kennedy. "Tech room secured. You won't believe what we found." Sometimes revenge isn't about destroying your enemies.
It's about letting them destroy themselves while the world watches. And we're just getting to the good part. Deacon leads me through a maze of service corridors, our footsteps echoing against concrete walls. The tech room door looks innocent enough, just another maintenance entrance, but inside is a command centre worthy of a small TV studio. They've been planning this for months, Deacon says, typing rapidly on a keyboard. Multiple screens light up, showing different angles of the spa. "Lucille hired me to run the technical side, but..." he hesitates. "But I have a sister too. What they did to you, it wasn't right." The main monitor fills with archived footage. There's Victoria in the spa lobby 3 weeks ago, rehearsing her concerned sister speech. Lucille directing camera placement like a movie director. Edward practicing his worried ex-husband routine. "Wait," I lean closer to one screen. "Play that back." The footage shows my parents in what looks like a hotel room. My mother is pacing, my father sitting stone-faced in an armchair. "We can't be part of this, Rose," my father says. "She's our daughter." "She's embarrassing the family," my mother snaps. "Victoria has a plan to fix it. We just need to play our parts." My throat tightens, but I force myself to keep watching. "Found it," Deacon announces, pulling up another file. The original live stream script. They planned everything. Your reactions, their responses, even scheduled Twitter trends. "Send it all to Kennedy," I say, scanning the document. "Every file, every angle." My phone buzzes. "Already editing," Kennedy texts. "This is gold. Ready to upload your video whenever you say." On the surveillance feeds, I can see Lucille pacing in the dining room, Victoria crying into her phone, Edward arguing with someone in the lobby, probably his lawyer. "They're about to do something desperate," I tell Deacon. "Can you lock down the building's communications?" He grins. "Already did. They can only send or receive what we allow." Right on cue, Lucille appears on the dining room camera, trying to go live on Instagram. Her face contorts in frustration when nothing works. "Time for the finale," I say, pulling up my own video file. "Kennedy, you ready?" Streaming in 3, 2, 1. The main screen switches to my carefully edited exposé. Every secret conversation, every planned betrayal, every manipulated moment, all laid bare. But the killing blow comes at the end. Footage of Lucille, Victoria and Edward laughing about their plan at a private dinner last month. "Poor stupid Wren," Lucille had said, raising her glass. "She always thought family meant something." The live stream chat explodes. Family betrayal and Suba, Wren warrior trend instantly. "Incoming," Deacon warns, pointing to a security feed. Lucille is storming through the hallways, Victoria trailing behind her. "Let them come," I say, sending a quick text to Kennedy. "Start the Reddit AMA." The door bursts open. Lucille looks deranged, her perfect makeup smeared. "You little..." She lunges forward, but freezes when she sees all the monitors. Her own face stares back at her from a dozen angles, each showing a different moment of betrayal. "Looking for these?" I hold up a hard drive. Every file, every plan, every confession, currently being uploaded to 3 separate cloud servers. Victoria sinks against the wall. Please, Ren. We can explain. Save it. I turn to the main camera. You wanted to expose the truth. Here it is. Every ugly detail. My phone lights up with notifications. The video is viral, spreading across platforms faster than they can damage control. Edward's firm has suspended him pending investigation. Lucille's PR company is trending for all the wrong reasons. You've ruined us, Lucille whispers. No, I correct her. You ruined yourselves. I just turned on the lights. I head for the door, then pause. By the way, Mum and Dad's footage goes live in 10 minutes. Might want to warn them. Victoria's phone starts ringing, probably our parents, finally realising they're next. Ren! She calls out desperately. We're still family. I look back at my sister, at the woman who helped orchestrate my destruction, at the best friend who became my worst enemy. Family doesn't plot revenge in secret, I say quietly. Family doesn't gaslight and manipulate. Family protects each other. You're not family. You're just people I used to love. The door closes behind me as the next phase begins to unfold on screens across the world. Sometimes the best revenge is simply letting the truth speak for itself. The spa's grand lounge has become a war room. On one wall, my video plays on repeat. Facts versus fiction, a betrayal monologue. 3 million viewers and climbing. On another screen, Lucille's carefully crafted image crumbles in real time as the fake life trends worldwide. Your firm's board just released a statement, Kennedy says through my phone's speaker. They're launching a full audit of all accounts connected to Edward's financial advice. Edward paces by the fireplace, his designer suit wrinkled, phone pressed to his ear. No, listen, we can explain the transfers. Yes, I understand the SEC's position, but fascinating how quickly people turn on you, I say, loud enough for the live stream to catch. 1 minute you're a respected financial advisor, the next you're trending on LinkedIn as a cautionary tale. Victoria sits crumpled in an armchair, scrolling through the endless comments. They're calling me the toxic sister of the year. Mum and Dad won't answer my calls. Probably because they're dealing with their own viral moment. I pull up Twitter on the main screen. Our parents' footage is everywhere, spawning countless memes. On my soul, family values hit different when you're caught planning your daughter's public humiliation. Lucille bursts in, mascara streaked down her face. My board is suspending me. They're saying my personal brand is compromised. Funny how karma works. I settle into a plush sofa, perfectly positioned for the cameras. You wanted to destroy my reputation? Congratulations, you've destroyed your own. We can fix this, Edward says desperately. Release a joint statement. Say it was all a misunderstanding. Like you misunderstood the difference between client funds and your personal account? I pull up another document on screen. The forensic accountants are having a field day with your books. Victoria stands suddenly. I'll tell everyone it was my idea, that I forced Lucille to sit down. Lucille snaps. Nobody's confessing to anything. Too late. I gesture to the screens where their dinner conversation plays again. Their laughter, their cruel jokes, their detailed plans to break me, all preserved in pristine HD. 5 million viewers now, Kennedy updates through the speaker. You're trending in 15 countries. Edward's phone rings. His face goes ash white as he listens. The FBI wants to interview me Monday morning. About that beach house you bought with embezzled money? I ask innocently. Or about the offshore accounts you opened in Lucille's name? Victoria's phone pings with notifications. The foundation board. They're requesting my immediate resignation. Turns out people don't like it when you use charitable donations to fund personal vendettas, I say. Who knew? Lucille makes one last attempt. I'll tell everyone I manipulated them all. That I orchestrated everything. Using Victoria's money, following Edward's plan, all documented in those lovely strategy sessions you recorded. I stand, straightening my blazer. Face it. You're all equally guilty. What do you want? Edward asks hoarsely. Name your price. Price? I laugh, and it echoes through the room. I want you to feel what I felt. The betrayal, the humiliation, the slow realization that everyone you trusted was lying to your face. My phone buzzes with a text from Kennedy. Okay, final phase. You know what the best part is? I addressed the cameras directly. They thought they were exposing me, but they exposed themselves. Every lie, every scheme, every betrayal broadcast to the world because they were so convinced of their own superiority. Victoria starts to cry. Lucille stares blankly at her ruined reflection in the window. Edward slumps against the wall, his phone buzzing endlessly with calls he's afraid to answer. I'm not pressing charges, I announce, gathering my things. I don't have to. The evidence is all public now. Your careers, reputations, relationships, they'll implode on their own. And everyone will watch it happen. Ren, please, Victoria sobs. We're sorry. I pause at the door. Sorry you did it? Or sorry you got caught? The silence answers for them. Goodbye, I say softly. I hope the views were worth it. As I walk out, Kennedy texts again. Your new podcast, Trust No One, just got picked up by Spotify. 7-figure deal. Ready to tell your side? I smile, thinking of all the stories still untold. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just exposing the truth, it's turning your pain into power. And I'm just getting started. The spa's penthouse suite feels like a courtroom now. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the setting sun as I face my would-be destroyers one last time. Edward, Lucille and Victoria sit across from me, broken but still dangerous, like wounded animals backed into a corner. Sign here! I slide NDAs across the table. It's your only way out. You can't be serious, Lucille scoffs, but her hands shake as she reads the document. 7 million viewers want to know every detail of your betrayal, I say, checking the latest stats on my phone. These agreements keep the worst parts private, your choice. Edward reaches for a pen first. The terms? You disappear. All of you. No social media, no public statements, no attempts at redemption tours. I lean forward. In exchange, I don't release the footage of you discussing how to hide my son from me. His pen freezes mid-signature. How did you... The spa's security system is very thorough, especially in the bar where you all got drunk and bragged about your plans last month. Victoria grabs the papers. This isn't fair. You're destroying everything we built, like you destroyed my marriage, my reputation, my trust. I pull up a video on my tablet. Should we show everyone the recording of you coaching Lucille on how to seduce Edward? The exact timeline you planned? Lucille snatches a pen. Fine, you win. This isn't about winning. I stand, walking to the window. This is about consequences. My phone buzzes. Kennedy sending updates. Edward's firm has launched a formal investigation. Victoria's foundation donors are demanding answers. Lucille's client list is evaporating by the minute. You know what I don't understand? I turn back to them. Why? Was my success really so threatening? You had everything, Victoria whispers, echoing Lucille's earlier words. The perfect life. Perfect? I laugh sharply. I worked 80-hour weeks building my career, raised Kyson alone while Edward networked with Lucille, supported you through every failed venture. That's not perfect, that's persistence. Edward tries one last time. Think about our history. I am. I pull up another file on the screens. Like this history of your gambling debts. The ones you paid off with my client's money. He deflates, signing the NDA with trembling fingers. You'll never get away with this, Lucille hisses, scrawling her signature. People will see through you. Like they saw through your fake concern? Your staged intervention? Your manufactured evidence? I collect the signed papers. The difference is, I have proof. Real proof, Victoria signs last, tears smudging the ink. What do we do now? Now? I check my watch. Now you have exactly 1 hour before the full story hits every major news outlet. I suggest you use that time wisely. You said you wouldn't release everything if we signed, Lucille protests. I said I wouldn't release the worst parts. The rest, I shrug. That's already in motion. Consider it insurance against any future attempts at revenge. My phone lights up with a message from Kennedy. News channels fighting for exclusive interviews. Your story's going supernova. One last thing, I say, heading for the door. The next time you try to destroy someone, remember this moment. Remember how it feels when karma finally catches up. Ren, Victoria calls out desperately. We're still family. No. I turn back one final time. Family doesn't plot destruction over dinner. Family doesn't celebrate betrayal with champagne. Family protects each other. You're not family anymore. You're just a cautionary tale. The door closes behind me as my phone explodes with notifications. The story's breaking across all platforms. Judge Ren Revenge and Karma Queen trend globally. My podcast deal doubles in value. Kennedy texts. Ready for your first interview? Good Morning America wants you live tomorrow, I smile, thinking of Kyson safe at home with his nanny, far from this twisted game of revenge and redemption. Sometimes the best victory isn't in destroying your enemies. It's in rising so far above them that they become irrelevant. Book it, I text back. It's time to tell my story, all of it. Behind me, I hear Victoria start to sob, Lucille's sharp intake of breath, Edward's muffled curse. But their drama doesn't matter anymore. I'm not their victim or their villain. I'm the storm they never saw coming. The morning sun streams through my father's study windows, casting long shadows across his prized mahogany desk. He looks smaller somehow, diminished, as he watches the viral clips of his own confession play out on his laptop. I didn't know, he says quietly, about Edward's fraud, about Victoria's manipulation, but you knew enough, I reply, standing by the window. You knew they were planning to hurt me. And you stayed silent, he closes the laptop slowly. Your mother and I thought we were protecting the family name. By sacrificing your daughter. Outside, I can see my mother in her garden, mechanically pruning roses like nothing has changed, but everything has changed. The morning news covered Edward's arrest for financial fraud. Victoria's foundation disbanded overnight. Lucille checked herself into a private facility after her PR firm dropped her. Your podcast interview yesterday, my father clears his throat. It was compelling. Truth usually is, I turn to face him. That's why it went viral. People recognise authentic pain when they see it. My phone buzzes, Kennedy sending updates. The podcast hit #1 globally. 3 book publishers are bidding for my story. Ren Effect is trending as people share their own tales of family betrayal and redemption. I failed you, he says finally, as a father. As a protector. Yes, you did. I sit across from him. But that's not why I'm here. He looks up, hope flickering briefly. I'm here because Kyson asked about his grandfather yesterday. He's 7, too young to understand betrayal, too innocent to know why his family disappeared overnight. Ren, Let me finish. I pull out my phone, show him a photo of Kyson at the park. He deserves better than what I got. Better than silence and schemes and fake family loyalty. What are you saying? I'm saying you have a choice. Like everyone else in this mess, you can choose truth or consequences. My mother appears in the doorway, her gardening gloves stained with soil. The neighbours are talking, about all of it. Good, I stand. Let them talk. Let them see what happens when appearances matter more than actual family. What do you want from us? She asks, her perfect posture finally cracking. I wanted parents who chose me, who protected me, who loved me more than they loved their reputation. I gather my things. Now? I want you to live with your choices. Please, my father rises. We can fix this. No. I head for the door. But you can earn back the right to know your grandson, if you're willing to do the work. How? My mother whispers. Start with the truth. All of it. In family therapy, which I'll arrange. Prove you can be the grandparents Kyson deserves. They exchange glances, decades of unspoken rules crumbling between them. And if we refuse, my father asks, then this is goodbye. I pause in the doorway. Your choice. For once, make the right one. My phone buzzes again. Kennedy's text reads, Kyson's school play starts in an hour. You're cutting it close. Think about it, I tell my parents, but don't take too long. Unlike you, I protect my child from toxic family members, no matter who they are. I leave them standing in the study, surrounded by their precious appearances and shattered illusions. In my car, another message from Kennedy pops up. Your story just got picked up by a major streaming service. They want to make a limited series. I smile, thinking of Kyson waiting in his school auditorium, proudly wearing his costume for the play. He doesn't know about the millions of supporters, the viral hashtags, or the way his mother turned betrayal into triumph. He just knows that tonight, when he looks into the audience, he'll see someone who would burn down the world to protect him. Someone who turned pain into power. Someone who chose truth over family lies. Starting my car, I text Kennedy back. Tell them yes, but on one condition: we show the whole truth. The ugly and the beautiful. The betrayal and the redemption. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't just surviving, it's thriving in plain sight while your enemies fade into footnotes in your success story. And my story is just beginning.